I need to say this right up front, and I'm not even exaggerating when I say this. Jurassic Park is the best movie of all time. It is one of the most perfectly constructed movies ever made. And if you disagree, come fight me. Okay, don't fight me. I don't really like violence, which the irony that I like such a violent movie. But that's why. I actually really enjoy the whole trilogy. Even the third one, everybody has issues with. I like it. And I'll talk about why. Jurassic World, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And we're going to get into it. We're going to compare. We're going to understand why Jurassic Park is the GOAT and Jurassic World should have never been made. A waste of time, money, and energy. Okay, so the OG Jurassic Park. And I know some people are going to be like, well, of course you think it's better because it's nostalgic and you have a connection to it. No, the movie is better because it understands something very simple. If the audience does not care about the people, they won't care about what happens to them, right? And in Jurassic Park, it makes you care about every character. Let's start with Dr. Alan Grant because he has an arc in this movie. That's what you're supposed to do with your characters. Create an arc. When we first meet him, he is a dinosaur enthusiast. Velociraptors are his favorite, apparently. And he does not like kids. It's very clear. Come get your child away from me. Okay? I don't want nothing to do with it. It's very clear. In the movie, they don't tell us this. They show it. That doesn't look very scary. And now I gotta teach you that it is scary. And don't talk to me and don't try me, little boy. You know, it's a whole scene dedicated to, I don't like kids. Why is he here? And then what happens? He gets stuck with not one, but two kids. She said I should ride with you because it'll be good for you. And Ellie over in the car he like, this. They show us. But not only does he get stuck with these two kids, he gets stuck in a park with dinosaurs that are actively trying to kill them. And what happens then? Slowly but surely, without some grand speech, a long 10-page monologue, we see him change. And it's not forced. It's a natural occurrence that happens. You watch him become attached. You watch him become protective. You watch him step into this role that he did not want. And by the end of the movie, he's a different person. That is what you call character development. It's very simple. Then we have Dr. Ellie Sattler. She's smart, she's capable, she's very emotionally aware, and they don't make it this grand announcement. It's like she and Alan are polar opposites, but they work at the same time. And when everything starts going wrong, she's not like panicking and, oh my God. She's solving problems. She's on her feet. She's getting her hands dirty. She's doing what she got to do to make sure she survives and everybody around her survives. And then we have Dr. Malcolm, chaos-tician, as he calls himself. But he's not just the comic relief in this. And the reason why he's different from any other comic relief in any other film is because what he's saying actually matters. Some of it, well, a lot of it will go over your head. But then when it gets down to it and you start picking up the pieces, life finds a way. All those speeches about humans taking control and overstepping boundaries, and you see it unravel in every way throughout the entire film. And then we have John Hammond, who is a very interesting character because he's not a villain, but what he's doing is very villainous. But he has this childlike wonder about it that makes you connect to him. He's so focused on the dream that he's not thinking about the reality. And the reality is you're bringing back animals that you cannot control, creatures that you cannot control. So then once everything starts to fall apart, you as an audience member realize this never really occurred to him that it can go this way. Like he had the safety measures, the fences, only because, I mean, you needed that to contain the creatures, but he didn't think it was going to go down like that. He wasn't prepared for any of it. But even when you think about the side characters, the lawyer, he started out kind of skeptical about this whole venture, but then him being immersed into the park and seeing the animals, you see the oh, we're going to be rich. This is going to be great. And then he gets scared when the T-Rex comes and folds and leaves everybody to die. You know, that's somebody you can relate to. And it's like, sir, you're here for the inspection. If anybody should be out there, it should be you trying to see how it's going down. And then we have Mr. Arnold. Hold on to your butts. First of all, it's Samuel L. Jackson. Let's start there. But even beyond that, his role was so small, but you connected to him. You connected to him. He's working at this park. He like, it's gonna be a lot going on, but listen, I'm here to do my job. We all can relate. We can relate. Lex and Tim, and I have to touch on them because usually in movies, kids are annoying, especially in movies like this. It's like, why ain't your kids at home? But you connect to them. Tim, very excited about the dinosaurs, very immersed in this Jurassic Park. He knows a lot about the dinosaurs. One of his idols, Dr. Grant, is there, so now it's even more exciting for him. They're spending the weekend with Grandpa. Lex is there, but she's interested. She's there for the ride. She doesn't know much about the dinosaurs, but that doesn't matter because she's here for a good time. And then things go left. They keep them in a relatable context. They are scared. They are still curious about everything, and they are trying to survive. And because of that, we actually care about what happens to them. Now, the story itself, very simple, very concise. They cloned the dinosaurs and it didn't go well. Simple. The thing the movie does the best is they stay with the story. There's no random side plots pulling your attention away. There's no random characters being thrown into the mix. Control has been lost. And once it's lost, the movie does not let up on it. And we're focused. Let's survive. You feel like you're there trying to survive with them. The other thing, the movie is not throwing dinosaurs at you every 5 seconds. Look at this dinosaur. Look at that one. Look at that one. It's not a spectacle. It makes you wait. The velociraptors, we get a peek of them in the very beginning. A peek. We know they are there. We know they are wreaking havoc. We know they just killed this man right out the gate. Literally. And yet, it feels intense without doing the most. The T-Rex scene, that water in the car, the kitchen scene with the kids, Lex with that jello, it builds the tension. It makes you feel like you are there. It makes you care about if you get out. You're invested in if you survive this. Perfectly executed. But of course, the second franchise is the spectacle. Look at this one. Look at that one. Look at that. Look at that. And not even in a way of, I understand that the park became real, right? And so that's the point. But you feel like that's what the filmmakers are doing too. Look at this dinosaur. Look at that one. Look at this one. And it's like, okay, can we get to the story? And that's the thing. Like, the storytelling is immaculate in the first film. We get the history of our main characters, their relationship, their bond, the differences that they have, maybe some conversations that they had in the past about family and what it looks like to be together and all that stuff. And they're not on the same page, but they're still trying. And then you have this rich guy who's coming in. It's like, hey, I have an opportunity. It's right up your alley. Spared no expense. And they go out with him and they see the dinosaurs for the first time. And you are in this wonder with them. Dr. Grant, Dr. Ellie, the lawyer, everybody is like, OMG. Then we get the history of how the dinosaurs came about, how they existed back in the day, and then how they made them exist again with the DNA of an African frog. Well, we know it was African at the time, but it was frog. Dino DNA. Like we get all these moments. We see the velociraptor egg, and now Grant, his antennas are going off because it's like, okay, you've bred raptors. One, he's excited because that's his favorite. But two, he knows raptors don't play. So now you're getting that element. Now they're going on the tour. Now it's like, okay, here's the park. Where are the animals? Alan, where? Like they don't see the dinosaurs. So they head back. The tour was a bust. Then you get the Triceratops. You get the line. Are these West Indian lilac? You know, I say that all the time. People don't know what I'm talking about. It's like, you are so uncultured. Why don't you know what that means? And so you get Dr. Malcolm looking good in his black. Looking good in his black, okay? Looking at the dino dummies. Dino droppings. We get that. We get Lex and Tim. We get them admiring Alan, seeing him with this animal. We get Ellie is in her element with the plants and everything. So then they headed back. Power goes out. Oh, and then we also have Dennis over here who runs the park, but he has Butterfingers. So we have all these things going on. Power goes out because of Dennis, because he like, you don't pay me enough. I got bills, okay? And I'm living paycheck to paycheck. So you either gonna pay me more or I'm gonna capitalize off of this opportunity that I'm gonna create for myself. I'm stealing your eggs and I'm gonna leave, okay? And I'm gonna be rich. And you're gonna suffer. No. So you have all that going on. The T-Rex scene happens, which is crazy. And you know, I love the fact that Hammond says in it, like, oh, there's no animatronics in Jurassic Park, you know, and we have this huge T-Rex animatronic that is like, it don't feel like it is. It feels like if that T-Rex was to come in here right now, I would run. No, I wouldn't move. Look, I'm dead. I would run. I just killed myself. Everybody gets separated. They're trying to get back together, and the kids are bonding with Alan and trusting him. He's trusting them. He's protecting them. You have Dr. Malcolm, like I told you this is gonna happen. You have Ellie going off on Hammond. You chose these plants because they look good and they're poisonous. Like, you don't know what you're doing. He's like, you know, this is my dream. It's that tension between them. You know, you have Ellie going with what's the ranger name? What is his name? Crap, I can't think of his name right now. But they go out, and we already heard beforehand what raptors do and how they attack their prey. You see one, and here comes the other one. Never knew it was there. So, like, we're seeing all these things happen. We're seeing it all. We're seeing the story play out. Oh, and then we have Lex coming in. Like, I have to say this part too. We have Lex coming in using her expertise because she don't know nothing about these dinosaurs. Everybody know about the dinosaurs but Lex. But she know about those computers. I'm a hacker. She knows about the computers. So now she done saved everybody. She turned the lights back on. No, Ellie turned the lights on. But she turned them locks back on. She got everything back operating the way it needs to be for safety. You have that iconic dinosaur, the T-Rex, and scene where the Jurassic Park banner is falling as the T-Rex is roaring, and it's just like very symbolic. Like, I'm the king. I run this. And then you have Dr. Grant saying, after careful consideration, I decided not to endorse your park. And then Hammond's like, me too. And it's still this serenity there. It's still a connection. There's still a love, even though they're scared. They know what the dinosaurs are capable of firsthand, but they still have the love for them. They still have connection to them, and we still have connection to them. Everything's all good, even though everything went terribly. That is how you tell a story. That's how you tell a story. So that is where all of this is starting from. This is the blueprint of where this world, for lack of better terms, has began. It's very intentional. It is emotional. It is scary. It's heartfelt. It's funny. And then we move into the next movie where it starts to shift a little bit, but you still feel it. So coming off the backs of Jurassic Park, we have The Lost World. And naturally, people are going to compare it. It is going to happen, right? You have one of the main characters coming back, one of them who is beloved, Dr. Ian Malcolm. And you have new characters, you have a new plot. And so now it's like, okay, how do we feel about this movie? I'm going to tell you how I feel about it. I like it. I actually might even love it. Okay. But the thing about it for me is not trying to be the first movie. It knows it's not going to be the first movie. It knows it cannot compare to what the first movie gave us, but it's not trying to force it. What I like about it is that it expands on this world. It adds to the story. What happens to an idea after it fails, but you kind of keep it going? After the first encounter with the dinosaurs, they should have just went in and killed them all. Just, you know, do a little, well, I don't want to talk about how they could have gotten rid of these dinosaurs, but they could have gotten rid of them. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't do that. So now it's, okay, what happens now? And you have a company trying to capitalize. We have Engine in the picture. We have Dr. Malcolm's daughter in the picture. we have his ex-girlfriend. So there are stakes here. Now, going into this, Dr. Malcolm didn't want anything to do with any of this. He was asked to go back to the island. He said no. And then they said, oh, well, somebody's there already. You know her and you might love her. She's Sarah Hardy. Yeah, she's there. And so he's like, this is a rescue mission and now I have to go and save her. I told her to stay home. She don't listen. You could see it all on his face. On top of that, you have Kelly, his daughter. Now, as a kid, I always thought it was interesting that they cast Vanessa Lee Chester as his daughter. And even in the film, they make commentary like, do you see a family resemblance here? Why is this his daughter? But of course, being older, if you're the best for the role, they will cast you. It don't even matter. But even as a kid, it was interesting, but it wasn't off because the chemistry between Dr. Malcolm and his daughter was perfect. The daughter has interest in dinosaurs, but she just really wants to spend time with dad. He's busy. He's like, listen, we're going to have to rain check because I have to go and take care of some things. He didn't say what, but he got to go take care of some things. And then she kind of just comes along as a stowaway. So now the stakes are even higher. And then the relationship with him and Sarah is like, clearly they still love each other. They still care about each other. They still want to have a relationship, but it's not working because of just their different ideas. Something that brought them together, i.e. the dinosaurs, are no longer something that they have in common. That's what I'm getting from it, at least. And then it's funny because they have this ongoing tension and they're like getting into it, but it's like, okay, you have bigger fish to fry because there's literally like a T-Rex trying to kill you right now. So you might want to like simmer down. But it's human. Just because you have a dangerous situation going on doesn't mean that your emotions are just going to shut down completely. So you connect to their relationship. And I'm saying that for a reason because when we get to the Jurassic World franchise, okay, let me calm down. I said I was going to rant in this. I ranted a couple of times. I'm probably going to have to cut this down. This is already at an hour and I'm only on the second film. Yep. Another thing that I appreciate about it is beyond the characters, the plot. They stay on task with the plot. This one is about corporate greed, exploitation, and it's about control versus nature. You get all of those in this film. Now, I'm not going to go on about the whole plot because I did that for the first one, but a couple of iconic scenes for me is the hide. You go up high and you hide. This is introduced to us very early on. A hiding space for safety to get away is above the trees so the dinosaurs can't get to you. We have to utilize this. They have to utilize it. I'm saying we, like I'm there. Again, you feel like you're there. This is perfect. You're supposed to feel like the stakes are high and you're trying to survive. That's how you execute a good dinosaur movie. So we're there, right? And we have to use this high because there was this little T-Rex baby that was, his leg was cut or whatever. So Sarah said, you know what? I'm gonna patch him up. I'm gonna make sure he's good and return him back to his mom. Thing is, before she can finish that part, the mama came and got her baby. She was on the way. So Dr. Malcolm takes Kelly to the high. And we see, before we see the T-Rex, we see the trees moving. Right? Building the tension. Very important for a very important scene to set the mood of what's to come. This is going to be tense. Let us show you how tense it's going to be. It's coming. You don't see it, but it's coming. They hand off the baby. Then the mama still wreaks havoc. Because she's like, you tried it. And now I'm going to have to show you. Don't play with me. And now they're in this what is it, like a bus trailer thing. You have Sarah who falls down flat. And you think, oh, it's over for her. And the glass starts to crackle. And it's like, this is scary. You have these dinosaurs, but then you're all hanging off a cliff. Like, this is how you build the scene. You care about these people again. You have the San Diego scene where they actually do transport the dinosaurs and they're getting ready to do their thing. So what happens when one of these dinosaurs get loose and is amongst the people? Now, I get why it's a little bit divided because then the T-Rex goes and he's like drinking water from a pool or something. It doesn't really like cause this big caboodle, but it still makes for a good scene. I don't care. I mean, a T-Rex loose in the city is pretty interesting. the visual of that alone. So like overall, I'm gonna be honest, the second movie doesn't hit as hard with the emotion. I think it does well with the action, but you still are invested in the characters. You're bringing back an original character and you're giving him a story. You're giving him a reason. He's interacting with the dinosaurs. It's very important, very important. It doesn't lose the fact that this is why we are connected. And even though he has his, he has some traumatic experiences, it's understandable that he doesn't feel the same way, but there's still a connection there. He's connected to these dinosaurs. It's not just something that they put on paper. You can see it, you can feel it. Just saying, that's how you do it. So let's talk about the third and final film in this trilogy, and that is Jurassic Park III. Now, people used to drag this movie, and I get it. I do. I get it. But if those same people went and watched the Jurassic World trilogy, I'm gonna need them to come back and apologize immediately. And again, for this movie, I don't think it's trying to compete with the first two. I think it knows what it is. It's like, okay, we're back on a island. It's not the first island, but we're back on the island and dinosaurs are here and we need to get out. Cool. It doesn't try to force the nostalgia, even though we bring back, again, one of the OG characters. Now, Dr. Grant, understandably so, is turned off from everything he experienced with these dinosaurs. He still have a connection. He's still doing books and everything about it, but it's like, okay, that's about as far as I'm gonna go with this. But then he's enticed by money from this rich couple who want to go on and be on the island, whatever. He's like, all right, not knowing that it's not the island that he went to, and they're frauds. The reason why he's on this island is because they lost their kid and they're trying to get him back. And Dr. Grant is like, your kid is dead. Okay, how long he been here? He been here for a week. Yeah, he's gone. The raptors got to him. It's nothing I can do. This is the whole movie. They don't want to leave the island until they find their kid. Alan's like, good luck, I'm leaving. And so it's like, okay, well, we'll find our kid, but we're going to find him in the direction that you're walking because you know more about this than we do. This is what we get. Now, I'm going to say this. The characters outside of Dr. Grant, not the strongest. The couple, it's like, okay, like you understand the dynamic because they're actually divorced and they have to work together in order to get to their kid to save their child. You have the kid there who's a dinosaur enthusiast. He wanted to go to the island so he can explore this thing with a family friend, and things went left. And then you have the side characters. Some of them are there just to move the plot forward, just like the guy who stole the raptor eggs or whatever. And it's like, yeah, we saw this with Dennis early on because he wanted to capsulize or whatever. But then it's like, we didn't really need to see him. You have Dr. Grant connecting with this kid, which we already saw in the first one. This one doesn't feel as strong, but it's mostly because Dr. Grant, like, I didn't want to be here in the first place. In the first movie, he's like, I want to be here. I just don't want these kids here. Come get your kids. So, and the third one is kind of like, all right, okay. But it doesn't take you out of the feel of the movie. It just kind of falls a little flat. And then with the dinosaurs, you still feel like they are a threat. You still feel like they're a major part of the movie. Being it so, this is a dinosaur movie. They make it about them as well. This is very important for a dinosaur movie. I have to say that. This is the third movie about dinosaurs that actually features the dinosaurs. This is important. The danger is clear. The stakes are clear. There's no side conspiracies, subplots. It's dinosaurs. It's focused. So rewatching it in recent years, is it the weakest of the trilogy still? Yes. But I can appreciate that it is flawed, but it's still a dinosaur survival film. Not as emotionally grounded. It still stays on track with what we came here to see. So now we enter into the new era of this franchise, a branch of the tree, Jurassic World, the trilogy. The era of bigger is better. Not always true. Actually, Most times, not true. Now, when the first movie came out, I remember everybody being excited about it. This is Hammond's dream in fruition. It came true. I was intrigued by the idea, but the trailers made me say, I'm cool. I don't want to see it. And I just went back and started watching Jurassic Park 1993. I mean, you can't go wrong with the original. But preparing for this, I said, you know what? I'm going to watch it. So I watched it in 2025. Yes, 10 years after it came out, I watched the film. Now, I have to say, again, I do like the idea. I do like the general story of, hey, the park is here, is operating, is live and well. We have dinosaurs, we have rides, we have food, we have merchandise, we have everything. Come to this amusement park and experience something like none other. This is a great idea. We see this whole world that we didn't get to see before. But very early on, I noticed something. And it is huge. Now, it's a reason why I started with the characters when I started talking in this video. Because right off the back, I realized I don't care about any of these characters. Not even the kids. I don't care if they live. I don't care if they die. I don't care what they have for breakfast. I don't care about this divorce that their parents are getting. I don't care about Auntie Claire with her bob. I don't care about Owen with his hand up. Blue. No. Wait. Stop. I don't care about none of it. There's a huge disconnect between me as a viewer, these people. Huge disconnect. I'm going to tell you why. Let's start with Owen. I like the idea of Owen. Dinosaur behavior specialist. It makes sense because as human beings, we think that we can do anything. We have lions living in our homes. We have tigers. We have elephants. We have giraffes. We have monkeys. We have them all. We try to domesticate everything. So him being a raptor specialist and having some sort of control makes sense. It does. It does. But the way he is written is so surface level. It's like, none of this is cool. Why do I care about anything that's going on? I don't even know you. And this, of course, this is when Chris Pratt got hot. He was fine. I feel like that was the whole point of his character, to show off the new body. Anybody could have played him. Could anybody play Grant? No. Nobody else could have played Dr. Malcolm. Let's be clear. Ellie? No. Hammond? No. Lex and Tim? No. Hold on to your butts, Dr. Arnold? No. Nobody could have played those characters like them. I could have played Owen. Blue. Hey. I can do that. What's the difference? And then we have the relationship between Claire and Owen. And it feels like they have a relationship because somebody wrote it on a piece of paper and said, hey, here, do this. You guys are together now here. They tell us that they dated before. They tell us that they don't like each other because the date didn't go well. And you don't believe any of it. There's no chemistry. And it's just nothing to be invested in. Okay, y'all went on a date and it went wrong. Move on. Now they're in survival mode together. It's like, oh, I'll be here for you and I'll be back and all. I don't care. I feel like somebody told them, hey, we need a subplot for romance. Hey, Owen and Claire stand next to each other. Let's see how that looks. All right, we'll just make it work. And then we have this whole thing with Blue. Now, I know for some people it works. And like I said, the idea of it is cool, but I don't believe it. We're told that they have a bond. We're told that he raised them from babies and they know him. But there's no connect. It's like you brought a trainer in to help you with your dog. He's the trainer. Here's your dog that he has no connection to. But I'm going to help you get your dog to sit, roll over, and bark on cue. I'm not connected to your dog, but I'll help you out. That is what we get with Owen and Blue. So it's just, you watching it, it's just like, okay. And put your hand down. Put your hand down. Now, the other main dinosaur in this, the Indominus Rex. I do like the idea of it. This is a whole bunch of, I like the ideas. I like the idea of this dinosaur. It makes sense. It reflects corporate greed. It reflects bigger and better. It reflects humans thinking they can do whatever they want to do. Like all that we got in the second movie in the original franchise, it's the same thing that we're getting with this dinosaur. The problem is, after that first scene of thinking the dinosaur escaped, it's not really, no, I'm lying. I think I'm just being a hater right now, because I did like the other scene where it camouflaged, and I did like when Chris figured out that it was part raptor. So it gave what it needed to give. I'm not gonna lie. Endo gave what it needed to give. Indy, Nene, Dom Dom. Now we got nicknames because I like it. I was being a hater. I'm gonna take that part. But then you have these kids. And like I said before, I didn't care about them. Again, and what we're all gonna do is compare. Lex and Tim, you cared about them. You were invested in their personalities. You were invested in them being invested in this park, in this experience. I don't care about, first of all, I don't know their names. They auntie don't even know their names. And that's the other thing. They auntie don't care about them. I don't care about them. Why would I care about them if they auntie don't care about them? Their parents sent them off. They're getting divorced. Oh, they have lawyers. The lawyers are sending letters. And the older brother like, okay, I don't care. I'm leaving anyways. And you're like, oh. And then they want to know who Owen is. And oh, we're going to stay with Owen. We're going to, save us and be brave. I don't care. Like, none of this is reading well. None of this is connecting. It was just a waste of time. And then the whole fixing the car, they fixed the car that's been in the garage for since 93. And it's just working. It didn't take a long time for them to fix this car. It ran perfectly smooth through the jungle. Like, I get that cars back then were made a little bit better, but please. Like, please. Like, I felt more connected to the boy in the third film of Jurassic Park. His parents is getting divorced too. He wasn't sitting around crying. And not to say that you can't cry if your parents get divorced. I'm just saying I did not care about them in this. There was nothing for us to connect to. It's like, hey, here's some kids. Be sympathetic because they're kids. And we're not going to give them a storyline. We're not going to give them any much backstory. It's very generic, but, care about them because we said so. But all in all, it did have things that people connected to. The spectacle of the park, right? And this is as far as a viewing audience member. The spectacle of the park, the callbacks to the original, that was pretty much it. The emotional weight didn't carry in any aspect. This follows for the next film in the franchise. It gets worse. Then we get Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. There's a lot of action. It's a lot more action, actually. The CGI is much better than the first one. But then we run into the same issues. And that is, you're not connected to what's happening. Point number one, this whole clone child storyline. Now, this is where it completely loses me. Well, it lost me way before we got to the realization that she was cloned, but let's just talk about it. On paper, very good idea, because we have this idea of the dinosaurs and how they were able to make them again, how they use DNA from different animals to compose a life source. But the thing about it is, in this movie, it feels like they're trying to get a reaction from the audience. You should feel sad right now. Because here's this little girl off into the world. She has no one. And to make matters worse, she's not even a real girl, right? So she has that element to deal with within herself. Feel sad about this. And it's like, no, I don't care about her. Now that's very harsh to say because she is a child, allegedly. But it's the truth. They do the Easter eggs of her trying to figure out who she is. She has a disconnect from her grandpa, and so she's like, did I look like my mom when she was younger? Why would she be asking this now? This little girl is probably like 10 years old. Why is she asking now? She been asked this question. Why are they presenting it like this is the first time she's asked, did I look like her? And then he's hiding the picture, sliding it back in the book. Like it didn't feel authentic. And then it's rushed after that, and we kind of gloss over it. So they're standing in the hallway, and the guy is telling her, "Hey, Macy, come," or what's her name, Macy, whatever her name is, "come over here." And so she's like, "No, I'm gonna go with Claire and Owen." And he's like, "You guys don't even know what she is, and she's not a real girl. You know, she was cloned, and that's why Hammond and Lockwood not even friends anymore. They stopped being friends because of her." It just throws it at you. The girl is in shock for like 30 seconds. She's breathing hard. She's like, "Oh my God." Claire and Owen don't even acknowledge it. And that's pretty much the end of that story. Like, it just was thrown in for shock value, but it was not shocking. And that's sad for because that's a huge thing to include into a film like this. I'm gonna cut this part short because it's not really much to talk about with the Fallen Kingdom, to be honest. Like, Claire and Owen have their weird relationship, and it's presented as if it's like a weird thing. They asked early on, "Are you guys together or still in a relationship or whatever you have going on?" And I don't think Claire answered. And then you see them together, and it's like, okay, are they like on bad terms right now? Are they going through something in their relationship? It's the same type of energy that was in the first film. It's very much giving, hey, stand next to each other. We're just gonna make it work. The other thing that annoyed me, and this is pretty small, but I'm just going to say it anyways. They have this one character who is terrified of the T-Rex. And he's like, "Is it the T-Rex? Is it the T-Rex? Is it the T-Rex?" He's asking every 5 seconds if the T-Rex is coming. And then he never has a scene with the T-Rex. And I get it, you know, because you're introducing new dinosaurs, this new raptor breed or whatever. But why have him so afraid of the T-Rex if you're not going to put him in that situation of facing his fear? What's the point? That's all I'm going to talk about for that one. Because it was more action, but it was just action. It was action with no merit. So now for this final slice of this pie. And oddly so, Dominion makes all of this make sense, but in the worst possible way. Because once I saw Jurassic World Dominion, the first Jurassic World movie suddenly wasn't that bad. And I just explained to you how disconnected from that film I felt watching it last year. So that just gives you a general idea of how wild this conclusion is. Because it doesn't just have flaws here and there like all the other films except the first, but it completely loses the plot, literally. Now we're gonna start with the biggest problem. Well, I can't even say biggest. We're gonna start with one of the problems because I don't know which one is the worst, but we're gonna start here. I need anybody to explain to me why a movie about dinosaurs made its entire plot about bugs, not dinosaurs destroying cities, because now the dinosaurs are living amongst people and they're integrated, and that is, you know, very Flintstone, but you know, it's interesting to watch. It's interesting to see. We don't get that though. We get a glimpse of it and then that's it. Instead, genetically modified bugs that are destroying crops and I guess taking over the world. Shouldn't you have dinosaurs in your dinosaur movie? What happened to that? I can't even fathom who in the writer's room, and Steven is producing this film, Amblin. This is what you thought was okay? Why did you think this was okay? This is not A Bug's Life. And then, you know, the whole shock value that they added in the last film about Maisie and, oh, she was cloned and feel sad for her because she was cloned. Well, turns out she wasn't cloned. She's a real girl, but she's kind of like the dinosaurs, which they could have just said this the first time. She was conceived by her mother's DNA alone mixed in with other things, but her mom reproduced asexually. That is all. They could have told us that in the last movie. Why make this whole plot or subplot about this little girl being a clone and that is not what she is? What's the point? And it's confusing now. And then you have the nostalgia bait. To let you guys know, I just watched this movie like 2 days ago, just to let you know. So I'm trying to remember what I saw. Bear with me through this because I won't be watching it again. And this is something people have been talking about for a while, how They baited viewers with the OGs. Dr. Grant, Dr. Sattler, Dr. Malcolm. They brought them back. That's pretty exciting that all three of them are appearing in this franchise again. This should have been huge. It should have been emotional. It should have been a full circle moment. But the way it was done, it was like, hey, look who's here. And then that's it. That's it. That's pretty much where it ends with them. They're just in there to be, they're taking up space. And I hate to say that about them because I love them so much, but it wasn't meaningful at all. The filmmakers completely forgot what made us fall in love with them in the first place. Their personalities, their investment into their professions, and interacting with the dinosaurs. Why is Ellie and Dr. Grant chasing around bugs to expose what Henry did? We don't care. We don't care. And I know it was a money grab for them. It had to happen because I know they read that script and said, what? The good thing is they didn't have much to do, so it was an easy paycheck, but it wasn't worth it for the integrity of the characters that we've grown to know for past 30 years. Speaking of characters that we've grown to know and love, this movie adds in so many characters for no reason, taking up space, so many subplots, so many halfway backstories. This is just chaos. Owen and Claire are now Macy's parents, and she's like, you're not my mom. But then at the end, she's like, they're my parents, which is understandable because she's going through a lot. She's a teenager, so she already got that going on. And then she's this weird human hybrid thing. So she has a lot of things going on with her emotionally. Problem is, we never connected to her to begin with. So I don't care what you're going through. Get over it. One of the subplots, Blue had a baby. You know what? I don't even care about telling the story. I don't care. Okay, I'll say something positive. I like the fact that they did not stray away from the fact that Blue, even though she was raised by Owen, she is still an unpredictable, wild creature. All bets are off when it comes to protecting her kid. All bets are off when she's just been living in the wild and doing her own thing, right? So when she's interacting with Owen again, it's not the same dynamic that they had before. It's not the automatic trust and automatically responding to commands, which I appreciate about that storyline. I said something positive. I said something positive about the movie. Oh my God. So in all, the original trilogy, even with its flaws, feels very grounded. Its focus is on people, choices, and consequence. The newer trilogy is bigger action and chaos. And that's why all of these years, the original film still holds its magic. And it's not because of the nostalgia of the 90s. It's because watching it back, the film understands something that the newer films just never got. And that is, even though dinosaurs are spectacular, they only matter if the people who are interacting with them matter. If the people who are running from them feel real and relatable. If the characters matter, the danger matters. Not the other way around. Because if the characters don't matter, we might as well just turn on National Geographic and watch a documentary. But you know, that's just my thoughts on all of this. Okay, here's what I want to know from you guys. 1, why is Jurassic Park the best movie ever? No. If you grew up watching the original, I want to know which one is your favorite, which character is your favorite, and did you feel like the sequels did the original justice? Did it bring the trilogy together as a well-packaged franchise? If you've watched Jurassic World, if you're a fan of the franchise or the trilogy, why? Oh, I really want to know. Why? Tell me why. Tell me why he ain't nothing but a... I didn't sing this whole time. I was doing good. Tell me why. I have to know why. And did you feel connected to any of the characters? Who was your favorite character in the Jurassic World trilogy? I need to know. And you have to explain it. Explain it thoroughly. Now, I'm not as familiar with Jurassic World. I saw the first one. I think I watched it twice. The second one, I watched it twice. The third one, I watched it once. I don't know. I don't think I'll be able to make it through another viewing, but so just give detail. And once you give detail, I'll go back and watch it again and see if I see what you see. And if I see what you see, I will come back and we can talk about it. I don't know. I think that's it for now as far as what I need to know from you guys. This sweater, I originally did not plan on wearing. I tried to record this video before. It was right after I was recovering from being sick. And I had on this ensemble that gave you Dr. Malcolm vibes. Very suave, but it was very uncomfortable. And I'm just like, how was he in the jungle wearing this stuff? Because this is not it. All this black leather and stuff. This sweater actually came from, and if you follow me on Instagram, you know where it came from. That's why you need to follow me. It came from a viewing that YouTube threw for the film Wicked for Good, and they gave us some swag. See, look at the, you see the swag. No. That was a fun experience. I put a reel on Instagram. If you haven't watched To All the Boys before, the video that I did on that, watch it and watch it till the end. I give a special thank you to everyone about what was going on with me before, with being ill, and you guys just supporting me and stuff. I want to say thank you again, but I give a thank you in that video. I'm rambling. Oh, I got a lot to edit. That's all for now. If you haven't done so, please be sure to click the like button. Click the like button, okay? Leave a comment. I really want to know those questions that I just asked you. Leave a comment and hop on over to that subscribe button and hit the bell so that hopefully YouTube shows you my videos when I upload. With all of that being said, as always, I'm all ears. Until next time, bye.